Very glad to talk to you about SilverX and what's been happening over the last 4 years. As you just said, especially the last 6 to 8 months. We are a Peruvian-focused company. We are a developer. We are processing, we are producing, but more importantly, we are upgrading our resource. We're having very spectacular drilling. So everything is happening at the moment, okay? We believe we are the next high-growth silver producer. And let's talk about it. Perhaps I'm gonna drive you through our tenements, our projects, and tell you what our plans are. But basically, we have the vision to take or to become a senior mining company by operating this kind of old district that we find in Peru. We're going to transform them. We're going to relook at the resources. We are going to come with a new exploration vision. And that's actually what we've done in Huachocolpa, in Huancavelica, in central Peru, okay? So by consolidating those kind of districts, we have the vision to become, again, one of the most agile developers in Latin America. We are ambitious, we are aggressive on the development, also on the exploration. And see what we have. Now, many people have seen us going public just a bit over 2 months ago. So basically, we were the merger of Latitude Silver, a Peruvian silver company, with AutoX, a Canadian listed company with high-grade gold projects in Peru. So now we have these 2 projects. First, a silver district in Huancavelica is called Nueva Recuperada, and the Coriorco and Las Santas gold project in Ayacucho. But I think we're a good target for investors for a number of reasons. We have all the infrastructure in place. We are processing currently at 600 tons a day, or from our concessions. We are connected to the grid. We have all the infrastructure. We have, obviously, a good relationship with the community. So everything is live at the moment. And more importantly, we see the upscale potential of the district. So within the next 4 to 5 years, we want to see this silver district going above 2,000 tons a day. Why is that? I'm going to show you the facts that support that notion. We are starting with a pretty good resource, more than 7 million tons in inferred categories. That was actually from 2 years ago. You are going to see the drilling. So in other words, we're going to see a very quick re-rating of the company going forward. And we have a team, obviously, that is mostly Peru-based or Lima-based, including myself, okay? And now with the merger, obviously, we are bringing a lot of Canadian expertise. Now we're finally having an exposure to the capital markets. Obviously, those directors are quite well known in this environment, and perhaps I can mention only Paul Matisek. We're going to refer to the X factor later on, hence the Silver X. And these people are bringing a pretty impressive track record, a number of transactions over the last 15 years. So again, SilverX is a target for this kind of investors. We're going to see, as again, a quick re-rating of the company. At the moment, we are trading about 50 million Canadian, okay, which is obviously undervalued in my view. But again, we'll show you the facts on why our valuation is going to increase quite dramatically over the next few years. But let's talk about the district, Nueva Recuperada. And we picked a district back in 2017 from Compañía de Minas Buenaventura, New York listed. And on top of that, we've put a number of tenements, concessions that we acquired from several mining companies. But one thing that we always had clear in mind is our relationship with environment and our relationship with the community. So we've built a district little by little. It's been mostly done on a shoestring and hand in hand with the community, okay? That's important. We believe in being good citizens, but actually we believe in those communities to be our strategic partners. Hence, that now we are a company in growth, in production. And as I said, we started with a pretty good resource. We own a large epithermal system. These epithermal systems with very high grades of silver, some lead, some copper, some silver, some zinc, lead, and copper, and gold occasionally, can be extremely large, okay? In our case, we own more than 100 veins. It's basically almost 20,000 hectares of concessions. And with that inferred resources, we had already the solid foundation to believe that we can create value, okay? We are producing, we are drilling, and the outcome of that drilling is showing much better grades than we actually anticipated. This is a snapshot of the district, okay? We are in Huancavelica, this is central Peru, and it's in an area where mining has been since the times of the colony, okay? There is some big players in the area exploring for bigger assets, namely copper porphyries, and that includes BHP, Teck, Barrick, Buenaventura themselves. And then within the core of that district, we have in Huachocolpa almost 20,000 hectares. When you look at our properties, we've identified two large areas. It's called Tangana, which is the north, Esperanza, which is the south, and right in the middle, we have our processing facility. It's a very standard flotation plant, okay? We also have the Maria Luz target, which is a little smaller, but actually very high grade of silver. We're gonna talk about grades in a few minutes. But reality is that we've identified this sort of district concept, district scale. We are again processing, at the moment, we focus on Tangana, which is the north. Once that's fully in production, in development, we're gonna focus in 2022 on Esperanza. In other words, that's how we see the multiplying factor over the next few years, the 4 to 5 times the current capacity. We started to produce a bit longer than a year ago. And initially we were producing on veins that were carbonate hosted. They were actually very productive. We've been operating at a very low cost. However, grades were not that spectacular. Now we finally got to the high grade area, and hence is the exciting part, okay? Just last month, we put a news release for the first 3 drill holes on this new area of Tangana, and 2 of them came with grades in the proximity of 1 kilo of silver per ton, okay? And that's obviously a composition of silver, lead, zinc, and some copper and gold. Our veins go in between 1 and 2 meters, but more importantly, those are veins that are gonna be mechanized. Those are veins that are subvertical, very good geotechnical conditions. And one thing that is critical and quite unique about our company, what we are drilling or intersecting today is going to be mined very, very shortly in the next few months, okay? And this is basically a long section of what we are doing at the moment. There was some very small workings in the past. Buenaventura, back in the early 70s, mined not even 100,000 tons of this project, okay? But now we finally got to this high-grade area, and you can see the first 3 drill holes of that large drill pattern, okay? We have to develop, it's a very hilly area. So basically we couldn't drill from the surface. We have put the underground infrastructure, now having very exciting results. We keep advancing. Just over the last month, we've put some 500 meters of underground development on that property. Oh, went too fast. And also, we finally accessed some of the old stopes, and we've been sampling throughout, okay? Remember, this mine was produced back in 71 to 73, very different condition, prices, technology, right? But we found samples up to 7,000 grams of silver, okay? While that's obviously an anecdote and the overall grade will not be that high, we can now guarantee that Tangana is gonna be a high grade project. So over the next few months, we are gonna see a much increased performance of our company, okay? Remember this, we are a company that is combining production with drilling. And that's great news because at the very least, we offset all our costs, okay? We just raised money in March, we went public by June, but basically we're not meant to come to our investors for more money. We're just making money. And this is a snapshot of what's going on site, okay? Very conceptual description of a mine being developed, of lots of veins next to each other, having that district concept and a very aggressive drilling program. We've committed ourselves to put more than 25,000 meters of drilling, okay? We're gonna have a very quick re-rating of the resource. Just so you know, as I said, we are processing ore from our concessions. That ore or that concentrate gets sold to Trafigura. It's a very standard metallurgy, but that means obviously that we are making money, that we have everything, is going on. So good relationship with the community. So again, you are saying now a mine project, which is a reality. This is not a promise. This is one of the very few juniors you can find in the market where, you know, we are proving to be mine builders, mine developers, we are good drillers, and we're actually just turning around a district with new exploration views. And Tangana itself, which is obviously the first target, is a large system. I have highlighted on that 3D view only 5, 6 veins, which are the main ones, right? But this is the first time in the history of this district that those veins are being understood as a holistic project, just one single mine, one single infrastructure, sort of one enables the other. And eventually we're going to come up not only with a good resource, actually 5 million tons already in the inferred category, but actually a system or a mine that is productive, that is competitive. Okay, our cost over the last year has been extremely competitive. Now we're finding the good grade, the performance will come. Okay, and just an anecdote, because our exploration is perhaps the most exciting part. You can see on this aerial view the various veins we have on the Tangana system. And when you see on the screen is gold values. Okay, occasionally these epithermal systems or silver veins are sort of encompassed in other kind of system, different pulses, different activities, and we find consistently more than a gram of gold. That tells us a lot, not only that that brings value in the concentrates that we produce, but that we are talking here about different targets, exploration targets. Again, it's something we are going to be announcing over the next few months as we can actually prove the results, but reality or the facts are supporting the idea that Tangana will also be gold bearing, and we are now targeting different deposits, potentially disseminated deposits. I'm going to show you just a few pictures of the very recent intersects. It's extremely exciting. We have our mine gate, our mine portal is at 4,650 meters, 4,650 meters. And what we're drilling consistently is 100, 200, and up to 230 meters below our feet. That's extremely important, not only because we report great grades, but to actually demonstrate that our veins are very deep and actually long on a strike. Okay, so basically now we can guarantee that Tangana is going to be a long mine life. And these more intersects, and you can see any geology will understand not only that tetrahedrite or rhodochrosite typically bring high grade of silver, but we actually have chalcopyrite, for instance, and gold. And as I said, some of the drill intersects also support the notion that at both sides of our veins, we have gold. Anyway, that's about Tangana. We are processing our volumes, our tonnages keep increasing over the months. And finally, I'm going to talk about Coriorco, which is a project that we have in Ayacucho. It's a low sulfidation target. It's a bunch of veins of very high grades and actually sitting next to a dome, which is a disseminated target. Coriorco is a project that has all this very good social standing, and we are going to see some activity and very good results over 2022. At the moment, the focus in Tangana. Coriorco will be subject of drilling in the first or second quarter of 2022. So in other words, SilverX is a company that will have a number of catalysts. Again, we are making money. We are investing wisely. We are going to increase our production from 600 tons a day very quickly to 1,200 tons a day within the next year or so. And more importantly, we are going to increase our reserves very dramatically, okay? As a team, we are very ambitious, quite aggressive. We'll also pursue some M&A opportunities the moment we can. We are very active in that aspect as well. So I guess SilverX is going to be a company making very positive noise over the next few years. If I draw some comparables, obviously, I want to support the fact that we are undervalued. We are above 110 million shares at the moment, trading today, I believe, at around 42 cents, okay? We see that actually going a number of times higher, but when we actually compare our market cap, which is roughly around $50 million, this is still a long way to go. Based both on valuation per ounce of silver in the ground, but also for the forecast that we have in terms of EBITDA, obviously our enterprise value is quite modest, okay? So SilverX, as I said, is going to be quick growth, it's going to be production, it's going to be very exciting exploration, and obviously we're seeking the X factor. The X factor is a combination of, first, we are in phase of a bull precious metal market, but also SilverX is a company at its inception, it's a company which is very dynamic, it's a company that brings high quality teams, high quality projects, it's going to be very active, and obviously we believe this is the beginning of a large silver mining company, okay? Going to grow to Latin America. We just took this slide from other competitors. We love it because it tells the story of other companies like First Majestic, like Pan American Silver or Fortuna Silver, doing just the same in the previous cycle, okay? The next cycle is our opportunity and we're going to be there. That's it. Thank you very much, Gwen.